Swipe left if you're under 6 feet.
No tattoo chicks, yuck.
If you don't work out, we won't work out.
No rice, no spice.
White guys only.
Please be hot. So this is messed up, right?
Right.
But everyone seems to go along with it.
But would they if someone did this in the real world?
That's exactly what the fuck we do. Everybody has these filters and these barriers that they have in their mind that they want or won't do.
Right.
So whenever you do it, you just do it automatically.
Yeah.
You just go in there, ew, fat guy, oh, this, no, I don't like beers, oh, this and that, oh, he's hot. And then you select that person to chill whenever you're in the bar.
Oh yeah, split-second decisions are what we do every day. It's part of survival.
It happens.
You do that for love, you do that for work. We come to conclusions about people within the first 3 seconds.
People are not going to walk to you, I'm not going to talk to you because you have a beard, and then leave.
No.
That's not life.
They're
That's
just
not how
not
things
gonna
work.
talk to you.
They're just not going to talk to you, but it's just, this is meant to be fast.
Look, I haven't seen this, but I can already tell just based off how it is. These people think they're going to make a good point.
Yes.
And it's going to be weird. Just by how corny that
Yes.
intro was.
Absolutely.
What if Natasha were to swipe right on hundreds of guys, invite them all on a date, and treat them just like we've been treating each other on Tinder? What would people say?
Wait.
They're going to invite him live.
See, you're not making a point. You're just being dishonest. Not only you're wasting people's time, but you are lying to them. You are coming at them with the pretense that you may be potentially interested, meet up with them, and then actually embarrass them on camera.
I'm done.
So I've quickly realized holding conversations with all these guys just isn't gonna work. Just too many of them. So I've developed a system. Step 1, we message with a guy on Tinder and give him a Twilio phone number. Step 2, this programmable phone number is routed through an online database. This central hub can send and receive texts and be logged into from anywhere in the world. Leading us to Step 3, farming out this texting operation to overseas workers. Over 50 full-time workers help us to text with guys, converting a Tinder match into a Tinder date. And if you were to call any of our numbers, they forward to this phone with a voicemail of, so I need a meeting location for Natasha and all these guys. That's why I've created a fake EDM event, complete with stage, sound, and our friend, Nick AM. Guys will be told to stand next to the stage, and after she says hi to her DJ friend, they'll go off on their date. They'll never expect a thing.
With the bodyguards, yo, that's too much. Too much sauce. Hey, too much sauce. Too much sauce. A limo? Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Nick AM? Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Too much sauce. Bodyguards? Too much sauce. Too much sauce. 3 much sauce. 3 much sauce. 5 much sauce. That's too much sauce.
Hi, everyone. As you may or may not know, my name is Natasha.
Yo. I think this is the kind of shit that makes me hate niggas. Because if this is me, I'm either leaving or I'm throwing tomatoes.
Too much sauce.
So yeah, there's about to be way more sauce. With my tomatoes on stage,
Too much sauce.
yo.
Too much sauce.
If I'm supposed to meet up with you with a one-on-one date and this turns out to be a gimmick, bitch, I'm gone. I got too much self-respect to waste my fucking time listening to you on stage. This is the most self-serving garbage I've ever seen.
And I have everyone here today to be on a date with me.
Bitch, what? That face. Their face. He's like, oh, hell no. He's like, bitch, what? Like, I'm leaving. He's like, I tapped that.
He's like, please, me.
Dating apps are very difficult, and I said maybe I can bring everyone here in person and see how that goes. So, do you have what it takes to win a date with me? So, we're gonna start the elimination.
Here's the worst part about this. Like, as people are just taking this like a bad prank or anything like that, think about the guy who finally lands his first date on Tinder and turns out to be this gimmicky garbage. You know, like going on dates is already stressful enough for people. You know, rejection is hard enough as it is. To do this in such a fucking scandalous way, to me, means you're a trash human being. And the fact that you don't have the empathy to realize that someone may suffer from this kind of event means to me you're trash. When it comes to matters of the heart, and when it comes to intimacy and love and shit like that, when it comes to rejection, I always tell people you gotta be compassionate for the person that you are leaving. Because, you know, if you go unnecessarily cruel on them, you are putting trauma that the next person's gonna have to deal with. And it's just like, don't. It's fucking trash.
Whack.
We're gonna start the elimination. Half of you people here are in relationships, so those people should leave now. Anyone under 5'10", please leave as well. No beer bellies, no long beards, no bald guys, no khakis, or is any less than 6 inches, you know, you gotta go. You gotta go. Also, anyone named Jimmy. I don't enjoy the name Jimmy. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, these goes from bad to worse, bro.
I hated this girl from the top.
Where did you get this?
I hated this girl from the top. Now I hate every nigga who got up down there to do push-ups for this. Listen, guys out there who will do anything for pussy, I want to spit in your faces. As rare as I say things with anger in my heart, but like this is one of the few things like you guys are pathetic to me. Like guys who can't say no to a girl's demands, especially an average girl like this who's this self-serving and this much of a piece of shit, and you still get down there to do push-ups like some fucking monkey. Right? Just because you want to get your dick wet, have some goddamn standards. Have some goddamn standards.
4, 5. Swipe right. Swipe left. I like his shirt.
And the guys that lined up, like, yo, this is hard to watch.
But then again, you know what? You know what? The point that she was trying to prove is that you acting like Tinder in real life is exactly how you feel. So what they're trying, and it works, because what they try to prove was that it was this. What if, the premise of this was, what if people acted as Tinder in real life? So she's not trash. She's doing exactly what she said she would do, which is talking to people like they were live on Tinder.
Two problems.
Go ahead.
Premise. One, the first problem. They didn't come here under the pretense
I understand.
that this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
So first,
still
it's surprise
trash.
it.
Still trash.
Second problem is that this is happening in public in front of everybody else. So me coming to reject you one-on-one is one thing. Me making a spectacle and lining everybody up and be like, hey, I'm not interested in you.
Yeah.
Not interested in you because she's on a big-ass mic.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
That's why I was talking about the compassion to reject people respectfully.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with saying no to somebody. In fact, say it when you feel
Getting an unmatched is one thing. Getting an unmatched in front of a microphone and with everybody looking at you and filming and
fuck
shit.
out of here with that shit, nigga.
It's some other shit.
She got referees. Yo, this is too much sauce.
Too much, but you already established it was too much sauce.
Swiping left.
Left.
Didn't we say 5'10" and above?
So you see that, right? She made that smart ass comment and was super rude and people laughing. You can tell this nigga's hurt.
Yeah, it hurts.
And I only mention this stuff and I only care about this stuff because I know people don't give a fuck. And so whenever I talk about this, people are like, oh, really? It's like that? I'm like, yo, people don't recognize what dudes go through when it comes to this shit. And so they think it's funny.
3, 2, 1. Let's sing. Do you like to travel?
I love to travel. I've been to, excuse me, this shit you just did right here, pulled a stunt on all these men who had stuff to do. It's f***ed up. You know it's f***ed up.
This is what happens on a day-to-day basis on dating. All right, the second one. Y'all were right, I picked the second one.
Just because someone doesn't check off every box on what we find attractive doesn't mean they aren't. It's absurd, isn't it? To judge people by such petty things as if they like to wear khakis. We know that. Look at how angry this makes people, and yet, this is what we've been doing the whole time. I guess sometimes you just have to lay a trap to catch people's attention and start a conversation.
online dating and its merits are debatable. Okay. The idea that it's inherently negative because it makes people superficial. People are inherently superficial to begin with. You know, maybe I get to know you deeper afterwards, meeting you in person. But off the top, when we go to clubs, we're already sifting through people and we're swiping them in our heads to create an application that facilitates that, puts us in touch. I hate when people only talk about the downsides of online dating. You know, for the upsides, you get to meet people who are completely outside of your social circle. People you would never meet face to face. You get to see them because of the fact.
Because they're 5 kilometers away.
Or even if they're within 400 kilometers.
Because you would never cross.
We would never, because I don't go to the same clubs as them. I have my circles, I have my spots, and that's where I go to. Yeah. You know? What about for people who have approach anxiety, who find that approaching women is terribly frightening because they might deal with a bitch like you, right? Like what about guys like that? Now they have a means to talk to other women through means that, you know, they don't have to be treated like garbage in front of other human beings, because you don't have to approach somebody in the street or in a club and have to deal with that rejection. So I find it very ironic that a woman's like, let's get rid of this shit and just approach us, man. You don't have to approach, bitch. You don't have to put your self-esteem on the line. So maybe you should shut the fuck up and stay in your lane.
Because you're not going to approach. You're not going to approach. In the dating game, women don't approach.
You know what percentage?
Yeah, but I do. You don't. Like, you're minimum. You're a tiny bit of this equation. Women don't approach. Men do. And men deal with rejection. That's why women have a hard time dealing with rejection. Because they don't have to deal it on a day-to-day basis. Excuse me, miss. Ew! What the fuck is you? Ew! Like, really? 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 Yeah. You don't get to deal with that. You don't. So, it's a bit unfair to be like, to be like, yeah, no, we want to get approached and stuff like that. Nah. You want to get approached. You can't want feminism and everybody to be all right and still want people to approach you. Okay? You choose. You either want it or you don't. You want everybody to be equal, so you do the approaching too, and you take some of these L's. Okay? Or you just go by and do her thing. Because the approaching thing, women don't approach men. They don't. And that's just stats. Whether you do personally, you're a minority. A whole minority of, like, not a lot of people. I don't even know what the numbers are on that, but that's a minority. A woman approaching men. Come on.
There's no numbers for that. But, you know, listen, 20% of marriages are happening through people who met through online dating. So obviously it's working for a lot of people. This idea that you can't build intimate and strong bonds with people online is untrue. Sure, it might start with a superficial aspect, but I think we all need to feel a strong physical attraction to someone before we feel like we can perform a strong bond with them. Or we would like that in our relationships. And the fact that people seek that out as a base mandatory isn't the worst thing in the world. Now, if you don't like it, don't like it. But don't put out the pseudo-intellectual prank where you waste men's time and you treat them like garbage on camera and you do all these stuff to make a point that's invalid. Because all you do is made yourself look like an ass. And to the guys who participated in this, knowing what the fuck this charade was, you're also trash, man. Yo, get your standards up, niggas. Because the moment you do this whole game with the women is going to be a lot easier. Too much sauce.
Too much sauce. 3 much sauce.
Yo, that was a lot of sauce.
That was a lot of fucking
She had a lot of sauce, nigga.